Day breaks and I'm burned by the morning light. I make the same mistake more than twice. Same song, but brand new dance. I wear out my third second chance. You take my breath and I can't get it back. Might be time for me to face the facts. The best me is with you, but I know I got a lot to prove. They think we're too damaged to fix, but we're just working through a little rust. They like to say we're just young, but I know we won't give this up. Sometimes I lose my mind, and some days it's hard to find the reason why you stay by my side. You and I break our hearts open in half just to see if we'll put them back. No matter what they try, I'll stay by your side. It's you and I.
Hello. Hey, everyone. How's it going? Hey, Cooch. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Jendi. Hey, Mary. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Mandy. That's good, Mandy. No worries. How are you guys doing? Hopefully you can hear me and I'm not muted. I don't think I am. Hey, Just Beetle. I scheduled this kind of late and rather short notice, so I apologize. Hey, Artsy Nurse. So, I don't know, has anybody heard of the incident that happened with baby Trayvon? I actually saw this in People magazine, and of course, I always second guess these tabloids, so I went and searched it out myself, and I was disgusted and astonished at what happened to this baby. And the parents filed a lawsuit against the hospital as well as the doctor that delivered her baby. And they did a press conference a couple days ago, and I have that, and I was going to play it and kind of show you guys what is going on with that case. And I do have the complaint that was filed, but it's over 50 pages. I can always link it if anybody wants to read it later. But hey, Kat, good to see you. It's very nice to see you. I hope you're doing okay. That's so funny. Um, so has anybody heard of this case and the situation that happened with the baby? And it's out of Georgia is where this happened. Hey, Claire. Claire, have you heard of this? You might have. If not, I do have the complaint if you want that. And hopefully you got the documents that I sent you the other night. Yep, you have heard of it? You have not heard of it. Okay. Well, I'm going to let the lawyers explain what happened, but unfortunately, when she was giving birth to the baby suffered a broken neck and was actually decapitated in the process. But it's I feel like there's some sort of cover up going on over there. Um, and it's really unfortunate for these parents. And I feel bad for them. The mother is 20 and the father is 21. And the two adults that you see on the side, on the right side of the thumbnail, the woman is the delivery doctor, and the male is a forensic pathologist that the family had hired after the baby had passed, um, to conduct an autopsy, an independent autopsy on this baby. And he ended up putting the baby's autopsy onto his Instagram page. And he was saying it was for educational purposes and never told the parents. Um, they have since filed a lawsuit against him as well. So I was going to play the press conference and let the attorneys kind of speak for the case itself. Now, the the older of the two attorneys that speaks, he is a physician and an attorney, both at the same. So I think he's been practicing medicine for 12 or 15 years. I can't remember which, but um, they'll be able to explain this better, because I am definitely not in the medical field. So let me pull this up. It is sickening. I don't even know what I would do if I opened Instagram and there was my baby's autopsy. I would freak the hell out. So let me pull this up real quick and I'll let this speak for itself. Okay. If you guys can't hear it or I need to turn it up, let me know.
So we're here this morning to inform the public that, consistent with our initial complaint that was filed back in August of 2023, it was neck trauma, namely a fracture of the bones in the neck and damage to a baby Treveon Taylor Jr.'s spinal cord that causes death, and not any other complications associated with shoulder dystocia. We did this again 6 months ago. I told you all what shoulder dystocia was. Shoulder dystocia just means when a baby's coming down the birth canal, the bones basically get stuck in the pelvis. It is a phenomenon that occurs. It is not extremely rare. Every qualified, board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist should know how to deal with it. And so that's
Real quick, does that sound okay? Is it too loud or too quiet? Hey, Maria. And also, um, this right here on the right-hand side is the mother, and the father is in a blue shirt. Well, I think it's blue. It's either blue or black, and he's right next to her. So I'll continue playing this.
what a shoulder dystocia is. For background purposes, for people who weren't here 6 months ago, Miss Ross was full term on July the 9th, 2023. She was 37 weeks pregnant. And when she went into Southern Regional Medical Center, she went in with the full expectation of having a healthy baby when she was discharged. However, tragically, during
Hey,
her
Bree.
delivery, the baby was decapitated. The baby was decapitated for sure as a result of a complication from the shoulder dystocia. But the standards of care are very, very simple. When there's a shoulder dystocia, there's certain tried and true things that must be done, positions that must be assumed by the patient herself with the assistance of the nurses, things that must be done by the nurses, putting fundal pressure, things of that sort. There should be an alert that's made to all people in the hospital so that other people can come and get fresh eyes on the situation and give this baby the best chance of coming into this world full, whole, and healthy. And our complaint is very clear that we allege that this was not done. The cause of the death, again, was the baby's neck was broken while Dr. St. Julian was applying excessive traction on the baby's neck in the face of the shoulder dystocia. This is something that is clearly contraindicated. No credible No reasonably competent obstetrician should ever do this. You're supposed to do maneuvers and different maneuvers in order to basically get the baby out. And if in fact that doesn't work, then you go to a C-section.
It is sad.
Unfortunately, as you all recall, right after we filed the suit back in August of 2023, representatives from Southern Regional Medical Center, they came out with a statement saying that the baby was dead before the decapitation, really implying that it was complications of the shoulder dystocia that killed the baby and not excessive traction and trauma to the neck. The Clayton County Medical Examiner's determination, when they put out that press release a couple of days ago, completely gouges that defense. What they did is that they determined that the cause of death was homicide. And I want to be real semantic in this capacity. Homicide in this context means that the baby's death was due to the hands of another human being. Please don't confuse this with criminal homicide, which is basically based upon a statute in Georgia law, OCG. There's a statute in Georgia law that deals with homicide, and it's a completely different definition. But what you saw in their press release is that they determined that it was a fracture and dislocation with a complete transection of the upper cervical 1 and cervical 2 spine and the spinal cord that caused the death. I'm not getting into the medical part of it all, but C1 is the first cervical vertebra in your spine. C2 is the second one. And so there was a disconnection or break in those two. And that was the cause of death. What is really important for the public to understand is that, this determination done by the Clayton County Medical Examiners was done very judiciously and deliberately and objectively.
Hey, Irish
They
Lass.
went and got the input of an OBGYN expert, an independent OBGYN expert who was out of state, who has done over 10.
I'm so sorry, Irish Lass. And I understand completely. And please do what's necessary to protect yourself.
$10,000 labor deliveries. And then they also doubled down on that and got an independent expert who was from Georgia, who has delivered over 9,000 labor deliveries. They sent these experts the medical records, and they also basically sent the information to an independent private forensic pathologist. And after basically gleaning all the information from these experts, their determination death was a homicide. And practically speaking, what that means again is that contrary to what Southern Regional Medical put out there, that the baby died from complications of the shoulder dystocia before the decapitation, when they put him back, when they took her back to the operating room, they came and determined independently that the cause of death was trauma to the neck. The neck was broken and the baby died. And then whether or not the baby was alive when they went back and did the C-section, we don't know, because quite frankly, Southern Regional has not been very cooperative thus far in terms of discovery.
What is kind of disturbing to me is this doctor is still practicing. She's still practicing medicine. I would be scared out of my mind if she was my doctor. When they say decapitate, they mean the bones in the neck. Yeah, he'll go into it, but they basically propped this baby up so that way she could see the baby, but he'll explain that.
We have not taken one deposition in this case, not because we haven't asked, but because there's been pushback by the defense. I will say this: we did have a conversation with the defense within the last week, And I think we've cleared this stuff up, and we're going to be able to briskly get through the requisite depositions that we need to really find out what happened. We're going to depose everybody who was in the room, all the nurses, all the scrub techs, everybody, to find out essentially what the hell happened. What happened? Why was there not an alert put out all throughout the hospital say we have a shoulder dystocia so that new eyes could come in and look? Why weren't the proper procedures done in terms of maneuvers and the like? So that's what we're going to do. Again, I really want to just say that in terms of the term homicide, everybody watches TV, and homicide is always associated with a crime. I've practiced medicine for 12 years. I've been doing this, basically holding hospitals and doctors accountable for negligence for 20. And I've never seen a circumstance where there's been any kind of criminal allegation made against a doctor. And again, that determination is not something within our purview. We have nothing to do with that. That's all under the jurisdiction of the Clayton County Police Department and possibly the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. So
when I was reading about this case, I did see that they are investigating it, although charges have not been pressed at this time. So, I mean, I can kind of foresee there being charges if she was negligent.
We're out of that. We have nothing to do with that. But I just want you to know that there is a distinction. The homicide that is used in this particular term is basically the death was due to the hands of another person. This case, again, we're just talking about the medicine now. But as you all remember, in my opinion, the most offensive aspect of this case deals with the lies and the cover-up that occurred after the decapitation. The fact that Dr. St. Julian came in just an hour or so after the delivery of the baby and failed to tell this couple the details and the specifics of what happened, that the baby had been decapitated. That was not done. That was a lie and a cover-up. Lies and cover-ups, again, the hospital staff there at Southern Regional Medical Center were trying to encourage this young couple to get the baby cremated in an effort to destroy evidence. They lied to the couple and told them that they were not amenable. They were a free autopsy paid for by Clayton County was not available to them. They did that, in my opinion, in order to force them into getting the cremation. Again, a lie and a cover-up, trying to destroy evidence. And then this is the most egregious part of it. Again, when this couple were there, and
like a girl.
And notice, I've dealt with dozens and dozens of cases of fetal death and fetal demise. It is normal, natural, proper, and right for parents after the baby is deceased to say, I want to see my baby. I want to hold my baby. I want to touch the baby's fingers before we put the baby away. And they wanted that also. The staff at Southern Regional Medical Center, they lied to them and said, you cannot hold your baby. You cannot touch your baby. And when they did not accept that, when they didn't accept it, they persisted. Then Southern Regional Medical Center, they capitulated a little bit. They said, okay, you can look at your child through a glass window, and they wrapped the baby tightly in a blanket, propped the baby's head up on the body, and set the baby up through a glass window, basically making it look like there was no decapitation. Once again, just defrauding and lying to this young couple. So that's what this case is about. Again, the significance of the Clayton County Medical Examiner's report is that consistent with what we've said from the beginning, the cause of the death was due to the trauma and the neck being broken, and not from any other complications from the shoulder dystocia. So those are my comments dealing with the medicine. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to co-counsel in this case, Attorney Corey Lynch, who's going to basically talk about other issues, and then you're going to hear from the clients.
Good morning. There was also a statement made by Southern Regional Medical Center after we filed the lawsuit that they did, in fact, report this to the proper authorities. The medical examiner's report shows that that is also not true. This incident was reported to the medical examiner's office and to the authorities around the morning of July 13th, and it was reported to the medical examiner's office by Willie Watkins Funeral Home in Riverdale, Georgia. And we would like to thank them for doing so, because this is a situation that, as Dr. Edmond just stated, that they really, really tried to cover up and tried to destroy the evidence of, so that they could avoid being held accountable for their actions.
Now, these parents found out about the extent of what happened to their baby at the funeral home, by the funeral director. They had no idea prior to that.
I would also like to thank the Clayton County Medical Examiner's Office for their thorough report and for taking the time to get these findings right. Jessica and Treveon are here. They've been through a lot. As you know, the last press conference we had, they were too distraught to be here and to speak. They are here now, and I want to open the floor to them if they want to say something.
We just want we just want justice for our son. They lied to us. They ain't let us touch him. We don't like it. We just want justice for our son.
This next part breaks my heart.
You want to say something, Dave?
So sad.
Okay.
All right. Well, do you all have any questions at all?
What was your reaction? What was the family's reaction when the report came out? And from the medical examiner case to moving when they say you think the lawsuit was filed now?
I mean, it was not unexpected on our part. I mean, I'm a physician. I mean, I reviewed the records, and it was clear that what caused the baby's death was the trauma to the neck, the doctor pulling on the neck and essentially breaking the neck. So this is completely consistent with what it is we knew prior to even filing the case. It's tragic, it's horrific, but sadly, it's the kind of evidence that you need in order to basically prevail in these kind of cases.
What is your reaction to the fact that Dr. St. Julian license is still active today? She still has privileges at that hospital.
I really have no comment on that whatsoever. I mean, once again, we're still in the early stages of discovery. Not by virtue of our lack of effort. We have not taken one deposition in this case. What I need to know is what the hell happened. There were multiple people in the room, nurses, scrub techs, labor, assistants and the like. And believe me, once we put them under oath and ask them what happened, we'll know. And so I don't have anything extra to add and pointing the finger at Dr. St. Julian, other than obviously she put too much traction on the baby's neck. And then and to answer your question about the fact that she's still practicing, I mean, again, I'm not an expert in terms of who's qualified to practice medicine. They've been doing this at the Georgia Composite Board of Medical Examiners for 100 years. So I trust them in their decisions.
We know that you guys are taking civil action against the doctor. This is now turned into a criminal case, and the case has been handed to the DA's office. What would the family want to say to the district attorney when considering criminal charges possibly being filed?
I want to correct you. This has not been turned over to the DA's office.
The police told us that they completed their investigation. They told us this last night, that they handed the case to the district attorney's office.
Again, what I want to say very, very clearly is that all of that is in their hands. We are civil litigation attorneys. What it is that the judicial system does with these facts, that's up to them. I said it very early on. Again, I practiced medicine for 12 years. I've never seen a circumstance where there has been criminal liability by a doctor being grossly negligent. This doctor was grossly negligent. Whether or not it rises to the level of a crime, again, way beyond my purview, way beyond my pay grade.
There an update on the second lawsuit about the person that posted these pictures also?
Sure. Yeah, we filed suit against the pathologist. I think his name was Dr. Jackson Gates. Come on, you know.
Well, we filed suit against Dr. Gates. To date, he has not answered that lawsuit. So he is basically in default. We filed a default motion.
Right. We filed a motion for default judgment in the case because of Dr. Gates' failure to answer the complaint or respond to the discovery. We've been unable to determine whether the court has granted that motion. Obviously, most of you know the Fulton County civil case system is down, so I can't locate and determine whether the court has granted that motion. But we're confident that we'll prevail on that.
It's been nearly 7 months since Jessica went. And just now starting to get these answers that you all claim since the lawsuit was filed in August. Can you speak to that trauma that she's endured? I mean, I know it's clear from just seeing her, but
It's been
Claire, it's interesting you mentioned that because I mean, I hear about babies getting stuck in the birth canal, but I have never heard of this situation before. Ever. And I honestly wonder how often things are covered up or how often we don't know about something.
tough. It's been tough on the whole family. They have been strong and resilient with trying to move forward with life and get back to not normal, but a new normal, given the grief that they have sustained. It's been tough. I keep in close contact with them just to kind of lift their spirits up and to see how they're doing. We've also, they have actually sought out counseling as well for the grief of this, but it's been a lot, as you can see and as you can probably imagine.
I know you all are focused on the civil aspects of this case, but is there a family representative perhaps or press if the family does believe that criminal charges should be filed in relation to this case?
I can say that the family deeply and fervently trust the judicial system, and so again, they really don't have an opinion one way or another. They're still stuck in grief. They've lost their child, and are they sitting back waiting for charges to be pressed against the doctor? The answer is no. They're focused on healing and recovery.
But with this hospital, the hospital they usually went to for their quality checkups, or they're usually checkups during the pregnancy, or was this just something that as soon as she went into labor, they decided to go to this hospital?
Yeah. I mean, just like in most situations in the United States, you have private practices. That's where she got her primary obstetrical care. And these physicians affiliated with these private practices, they have admitting privileges and delivery privileges at a hospital. So there was nothing unusual. It wasn't like she just popped up on their doorstep, full-term pregnant. No,
I agree,
she was scheduled to be delivered at Southern Regional, having been followed by physicians who are on staff at Southern Regional Medical.
What was the most damning piece of evidence that you've been behind in this case that you hope will help you prevail in this lawsuit? Is it this latest findings by the Clay County Examiner's Office, Medical Examiner's Office, or is it, I've heard of a video that was taken there by family members during the delivery process. Do you think that would be the most compelling?
You know what? There is no most compelling. It's all really, really jacked up. Every aspect of the evidence that shows what happened is traumatizing. It's something I've never seen in my life. From the medical records, and there is a video that we've basically given to the defense, which shows the excessive traction. And I'll say this, just how the situation was dealt with afterwards is bizarre. I mean, it is diabolical in my mind that after this woman has lost her child, that they weren't candid with her about what happened, that they tried to basically force her to get the baby cremated to basically spoil evidence, that they lied to them saying you can't get a free autopsy at the expense of Clayton County. Now, all of that is bizarre. It is bizarre, and in honesty, so I am going to answer your question. The most shocking thing is what happened after the baby was dead.
I agree.
Referencing this in your initial statement, but still statement that we heard you.
I'm going to say this. Literally, that's possible. We don't know. Again, we haven't even taken a deposition. It's possible that the baby was being delivered. And again, the baby's viable. Heart rate is fine and everything. The shoulder is there. And then Dr. St. Julian broke the baby's neck and killed the baby. That's possible. And then when they went and did the C-section, the baby was dead and then the head came off. when they pulled the baby out. What's important for you all to understand is that the medical examiner's office said that the
So
baby
bad.
was killed by the neck trauma, by the doctor breaking the neck. So whether that happened while they were in labor and delivery, or while the baby was in the operating room, the cause of the death was breaking the baby's neck and spinal cord. Uh, that's the take home message.
Mr. Taylor said he wants justice for his son. What would justice look like?
Good.
That's tough. They are distraught. I think they want any and every measure of justice that is available to them. We're not necessarily pushing for prosecution of anyone, but if the Clayton County Police Department, Clayton County DA's office makes that determination, then so be it. Our hands are out of that, and we are laser focused on getting them justice through the civil process.
Hey, look, once again, like 6 months ago, we appreciate y'all's attention to the story. It is bizarre. You all been covering this for a long time. You've never seen anything like this. And sadly, it is true. All right. I wish we weren't here, but we are. And, stay tuned. We're going to take some depositions. In this case, will resolve in some capacity, hopefully within the next year or two.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
So
we're here this morning to.
what'd I do? Okay. So that was that. That, when the baby's father said that he just wanted justice, it's like, what is justice in a case like this when no amount of justice is going to bring your baby back? And if I was in their shoes, I don't know what justice would look like to me. Obviously, to hold the people accountable, but I just don't think I would ever be satisfied that I received justice at the end of it. And maybe I'm alone in that. I'm not sure, but um I couldn't imagine what they're going through. And July will be a year, and she's obviously still very distraught about it. So I don't know. It's really sad. But I I I would be beside myself if physicians in the hospital didn't tell me the truth about what happened and I learned about it through the funeral home. That would just be awful. And then to have a pathologist, an independent pathologist, post your baby's autopsy on Instagram. Like, you'd probably find me at that person's door if that happened to me. Justice starts with the truth about what happened, in my opinion. No, I completely agree with you. I just don't know that I would ever be satisfied with the result. I mean, I'm gonna guess that they're gonna get a lot of money out of this lawsuit, but it seems to me that they're in it for accountability. And I think no amount of money could heal the pain that they feel. Um, a mother's love and even a father's love, there's no dollar amount to that. So, but anyways, when I watched this press conference these attorneys did, I've not lost a child, but to be in that position, it hurts to see someone else go through it. Money does not make this better. No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. Jennifer says there's nothing that will bring that baby back. They need to be held accountable. There's no amount of money that would ever heal them. So sad. Yeah. What possible reason did the pathologist have for posting it on Instagram? He, when people brought it to the forefront, he went on, I don't know if he was on a live, Instagram live, or if it was like some sort of, it was on a video format, but he said he did nothing wrong. It was for educational purposes. And the parents had no idea he was even doing that. He was even posting that on his social media. And he obviously is not taking any accountability himself. I mean, he didn't even respond to the lawsuit they filed against him, and he's in default. Hey, Margene, good to see you. And thank you so much. Yes, please smash the like button. I appreciate that. But anyways, that attorney seems, yeah, he does. I really like them. And they're very mellow mannered, their demeanor versus very aggressive. I mean, even stating that they're not looking to press charges. Like, to me, that speaks volumes, because I'd probably be picketing outside every one of their houses, and I don't even know what I would do. But you'd see a side of me that nobody's ever seen. I'm sure of it. No worries, Margene. Oh, I get it. I always have this big dog with me, so I totally get it. But if you guys are interested, I can load the complaint, the lawsuit that was filed. And if you guys wanted to read that, it's 50 some pages. Especially if you're in the medical field, or stuff about, I'm pretty clueless when it comes to medical stuff, but it kind of gives more detail on the case. So I can always load that up and link it if that's something you guys wanted to read. But I would want charges too. I agree, Jennifer. And a lot of people say, "Oh, we want them locked up. We want them, da 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 da." Da," But they didn't seem to be asking for that at all. And I don't know what kind of protections there are for um, practitioners in situations like this at all. So I don't know if there's, I mean, of course, you'd still be able to hold them responsible if they're negligent, but if nobody's speaking on it, it really makes me wonder why nobody was speaking on it, and nobody's come forward, not anybody in the surgical staff, or I don't know. I feel like at that point, I don't care if I work there. My morals and even my conscience would make me come forward to these attorneys and tell them what really happened. Oh, thanks, Claire. Yeah, I appreciate that. I know that last few streams aren't about drama or anything like that, but um, I'm trying to be selective in what I pick to talk about. So I think that this family deserves to be put out there if I can help it, put it on another platform. So, anyways, I want to keep this stream pretty short. You loving this change? I do too. I don't have any stress or anything this way. Although, mark my words, I am not done with Katie Joy. That I can promise you. So, I've decided to things that are content based or about different stories. I'm gonna try to stick with the same thumbnail theme. They're easier to identify compared to the smorgasbord of drama I've had in past lives or whatnot, just to kind of keep it clean. But these are things that interest me, so I like talking about them. I mean, the topic is not necessarily good, but I think that some of this stuff needs to be put out. And we'll see where it goes from here. I hope that they get justice, whatever that may be to them. And I hope that they get some healing. So I'm going to keep this stream short. I don't know. It's still, let's see, it's 10:30. It's still kind of early for Friday. So I may go live later. I don't know. I always say that, and then I'm stuck into this gold rush show right now. Like, I feel like I need a metal detector and I need to go search for gold or treasure. I don't know. I'm in this gold rush phase. So my husband thinks that I'll be out in the yard, like metal detecting the whole property. And I would absolutely do that. Hey, ambulance girl. No worries. No worries at all. I have so I have the complaint, and then I have this press conference is actually uploaded on my channel. It's marked as private right now, but if anybody wants it, you're more than welcome to ask me and I'll unlist it, get you the link for it. Or, I mean, I guess I could make it private, or public, but whichever you guys. I hope that by sharing these stories, that if I have any sort of proof for them, that I'd be sure to link that. So if you guys need anything, just let me know. I don't want to talk about something and not give you guys resources if I can help at all. So talk about Gold Rush. That is, if I had the tools to go out there and do their mining, I would do it. At least once, maybe. That or Bigfoot hunting. I'm all about Bigfoot hunting. But we don't want to get me started on that. I'll seem like a complete lunatic. So, but I'm sorry this live is short. I don't want to get this live mixed up with anything else. So I may be back. I may be back here in a little bit. I love the gold rush. So yes, your husband and I would have great conversations about that, Jennifer. So anyways, I'm going to end this live just so I can keep it to this. And I may see you here in a little bit. I thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you supporting this change in this direction I'm going, versus drama with a bunch of losers, those people over there, and that 90-day community, the toxic drama of nothing. So, anyways, I hope you guys have a great weekend if I don't see you later tonight. And I will talk to you guys soon. I thank you guys again for being here, and I will see you later. Bye bye.